You want a tip? Go ask your employer for more money.
This is United Aholes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41, Brian Cranston's favorite spot on the internet. So Ken, you had a bit of an issue today.
So I was at a fast food place the other day and went up to the counter, quick order, single item. While I was giving her my money and had the hand on the counter there for the change, somebody said, "Hey, Moyer." I turned around, I hadn't seen them in a bit. So I was like, doing the 15 to 20 word exchange, and the next thing you know, I hear my change, throw them in the tip cup. And I'm thinking, what? Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I'm getting a single item. The whole thing is like 16 seconds. So, I gotta pay for my item, and I have to pay you to do your job as well too.
Your hand was out for it though.
Oh yeah. And the thing is that it's starting to get more prevalent now in fast food places where it's like, don't get me wrong. If I go to a restaurant and sit down and, great service and everything like that, I don't mind tipping or whatever. But, come on, if you're like going in and buying a coffee or whatever, come on, what's next, right? Like, hey, I just carried that item that you bought out to your car. Or, hey, I just bagged your groceries at the grocery store.
Hey, I used to get tips when I did that occasionally. We were not supposed to take them. The store manager said if I don't see it, it didn't happen.
So, am I out of line here, guys? In my thinking? What do you think?
Are you out of line? No, you're not out of line. But
it is almost like paying,
In this particular instance that you're talking about, I actually see it as theft. I've got my hand out for the money and you're throwing it in your tip cup. No, that goes here. I will decide whether that's the thing. You didn't get to make the decision, and there's the problem in that situation. I generally don't, if I'm just going through a drive-thru and getting something, I don't throw anything in to the tip cup because I've literally, like you said, it's not that long of a transaction. Plus it's a drive-thru. The whole idea is in and out, in and out, in and out. Let's go.
Exactly.
If I go into whatever hamburger joint and I'll take this, thank you, and I don't leave a tip for that, and I see no reason to have it there. This is how big of an asshole I am. If I go to a buffet, I have a hard time leaving a tip because you asked me. If it's straight buffet, there are places around that are just buffet. Yes, you can order from the menu, but typically their whole idea is buffet. You brought me a glass of pop, and then you asked me if everything was okay. That's it. And I have a hard time leaving a tip for that because I'm serving myself.
Yep. So I'll throw an argument. I worked at a fast food joint for a brief period of time in my life. I worked in the counter, and I worked a drive-thru window. If you're there in that drive-thru window less than 60 seconds from the time that you touch the speaker to the time that you have your product in your hand, those people deserve a tip. Because that means they're actually working to make it faster than what is intended. But the last time that I felt obligated to leave a tip at a drive-thru window in this town, there haven't been very many 60-second expeditions, I can tell you that. They are slower than ever now because they're trying to spread too much product to one small space.
Yeah.
You take the sandwiches out of the equation, and you take this out of the equation and make it just the beverages and the simple hand grab items. They'll hit their numbers. But there's no way you can prepare a bowl of soup or chili, a roll, a sandwich, a coffee, and a donut or a muffin or whatever in 60 seconds.
Not of decent quality.
No. So
am I right?
So basically,
no, your experience, I disagree. I wouldn't leave a tip for that. Go to a counter.
He didn't get the choice.
I wouldn't leave a tip for takeout anyway. If you walk in, pick up, and leave, that's not service.
Exactly.
I put in an order. I bought your product and I left.
You were standing at the counter. I'm picturing you in the drive-through.
No,
Fuck, you don't
I'm
own
not
a
at the
car.
drive-thru.
You're standing
But
at
at
the
the same
counter and they
time,
threw it in
too,
the tip.
Yeah.
In the
know?
jar. I would have taken it back out. I might have, if I were in the right frame of mind, just emptied the tip jar into my pocket. That probably wouldn't go.
Yeah,
over
that might
very
go.
well.
But the thing is that it's not.
Well, I
it's
can't
not-
tell which one's mine, so I'll just take it all.
But
thanks.
the thing is it's not in plain sight either in some places. It's hidden. It's hidden. You know?
Well, you would have been within your rights to say, I'll have my change, please. They have a till in front of them. They can take it out of the till and give it to you, and it'll be on their responsibility to take it out of the tip jar and put it back in their till to make it flush.
Yeah.
Because you didn't make that decision to tip, so I'll have my change, please.
I would like to know the stance of the corporation on that particular practice. If it's where they're just turning their head and letting it happen, or are they completely fine with it?
With that specific instance?
With any of these?
Yeah,
With,
okay.
with any of these
Like if I'm
places.
going through drive-through and I'm
Like
getting my food in
fast
60
food, I mean.
seconds and they're doing their job to the best of the ability, then that's great. You're getting paid to do the best job that you can.
Yeah.
I think that the
Well,
employer
here's
should
my
look
argument.
after
Here's
them.
my argument on that, though. No, here's my argument on that. The best job that they can is expected to be 90 seconds from speaker order to cash out. If they hit under 90 seconds, that means they're more organized than the standard that was set before them. Therefore, I appreciate that saving me that time. That's why I'm in your drive-through.
But it's
I don't
less
want to
than
walk
that
in your
now, though,
store.
Randy. I think it is down to 60 seconds.
It may
now.
be. They may be pushed to that level. And I mean, I'm telling you that there are certain staff or people that work at a window like that if you are a regular at that particular window and there's a certain staff member that knows your order, knows what you're there for, and looks after you with that extra little bit. I mean, seriously, I'm not throwing them $5 like I
Right,
would
but
a
it's your
restaurant.
choice.
Right.
It has to remain your choice.
Exactly, and but I feel that is a valid thing to tip on. I'm not like so.
I've done it. I've tipped. I've been like, nah, keep it. Just, to throw a little bit in. But I want that choice. In this
No,
case,
absolutely, it should be
yeah.
a given choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely, in any instance.
My
So-
only. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, let's take it to a different level. There are restaurants that state a mandatory tip if there's more than so many people seated.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Do you don't agree with that practice?
No, I don't.
We are reserving a table of 10. We're coming in as a group.
Yeah, I don't care.
Mandatory tip of 20%.
No,
Okay, so I'm going to throw this back at you guys.
no.
Let's take a diner type restaurant. There's a couple in the town. I won't name them, but there's a couple in the town
In Area 41.
in Area 41. Let's say on an average meal, the normal price is $15, and you would tip the 5 to make it around 20 as a norm practice for a meal.
All right.
Okay.
Would you go to the restaurant that charged $15 and tip, or would you go to the restaurant that charged $20 and no tipping?
Is the $20 stated tip included? Or is it just $20 and you don't have to tip us?
$20 on the menu, 0 tipping permitted in the establishment.
So it's
Permitted, okay.
okay.
So
So
it's an
$20.
established rule that there is no tipping at this
But
restaurant.
their price is abnormally high compared to
So,
the competitors,
fish
and
and
they
chips?
pay their staff. They pay their staff accordingly.
Okay.
They basically increase them to, so let's say an average waitress can hit 4 tables an hour and achieve on average $2.50 a plate, and there's average 2 people per those tables. That's 8, that's $20 an hour extra above their wage. So let's say that extra money goes directly to that staff. The big difference now, you got to take into account, the reason the waitresses don't like non-tipping places that give them more money is there's taxes. They can hide. Technically, you're supposed to claim
I was gonna say,
tips,
technically they're supposed to claim it
but they
anyway.
can bury it because there's no fucking transactional
Right.
proof that it
Okay,
happened.
But if you've got certain jobs, the way Revenue Canada is set up now, if you've got certain jobs, the government will automatically charge you an amount for tips.
But the question is, will you pay more for the meal to avoid the whole tip transaction?
That to answer that question, like I'm not factoring anybody's taxes. I don't give a shit how they handle that. If you say to me, I can go to restaurant B and get fish and chips for $20 and it's $15 here, and I know that I just have to pay, it's $20. There you go, you're done, and I don't have to sit there and go, all right, let's. I hate that part of it. I don't whip out calculators and figure out percentage. I just look at it and I do the roundup thing. Well, if I round that up to, yeah, that's good. That's good. There was 2 of us. We get this, we get that. They brought us 2 drinks. Yeah, okay. And I'm generous. I'm probably middle of the road, I would imagine. If I can just walk in and get my meal and not have to worry about that bullshit when I'm done, they bring me the bill and I go, here you go. Thanks. Have a good day. Yeah, fuck, I'd go there in a heartbeat.
And you would willingly not chintz out and go to the tip restaurant and not tip to save the $5?
No, because that's
because a lot of people will.
That is a bigger asshole than I'm willing to be.
Right.
That's a different type. That's another episode, but there are different types of assholes.
So you're saying that we're good
going.
Assholes?
I did not say that.
We had the conversation.
There's a
at
different.
work.
Yeah, there's a different breed.
We took insult. Someone called a negative personality on the internet an asshole, and we were like, we take offense to that because we're assholes, and that's not representing our brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. But there's different. Yeah, there's asshole A and asshole B, C, D, E, F.
Well, you see, Chuck.
Yeah.
There's 3 types of people.
So, do we want to roundtable that question? With the tipping part, are you going?
I would normally I tip. I just do it, provided the services of the means, and I balance that service against the norm of the experience at that restaurant or facility, whatever it is. It could be McDonald's, it could be Tim Hortons, it could be Wendy's, it could be Burger King, whatever, or it could be a 5-star restaurant. It doesn't matter to me. I'll balance the service that I expect against what I got, and if what I got is even marginally better than what I expect, I'll tip on that. Yeah. And I also know that a lot of restaurants, specifically, I mean, normally higher end ones, that it's not just the wait staff that you're tipping.
Yeah, they split that.
They split it with the kitchen and the guy that
and rightfully so, as far as I'm concerned, because
cleans the swirlies out of the toilet bowl.
Yep. So at that point, I tend to think a little differently. But I worked in that industry. I know the pain. I know the pain of food service, and it sucks.
I'm okay if I order something and it comes and I go, yeah, I didn't want any tomato on that hamburger, and they go, oh yeah, that's right, you did say that. I'll take that back and have them fix it. And I want a new burger.
You don't want the juice on it.
If I find out, yeah, I don't want tomato at all on this, and it's a mistake, I don't adjust my tip for worse for that. That's an honest mistake. We all fucking make them.
Yeah.
But I have been to places where I made the comment. There's a local place where my wife and I went, and I asked for Cheese Whiz to go with my toast. And they said, oh, yeah, not a problem. We've got a jar. We don't have the little containers, but I'll just bring it in a cup for you. Are you fine with that? Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, can I get my Cheese Whiz? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I'll bring it right out. And my wife goes, are you going to ask him? I'm not asking a third time. I'm not. And then when I went up to pay, I brought it. When they said, how was your meal? I thought, I'm going to tell them. My toast got cold waiting for the Cheese Whiz to put on it. And the answer was, oh, that's too bad. That'll be $22.43. I paid exactly that amount and left 0 tip on the table.
Right.
And walked out. And
exactly
it was a long damn
and that's
time
bad service.
before I darkened that door again.
So I want to bring up another point I think that you kind of mentioned to me off camera. How do you feel about going through a checkout line at any given retailer and being asked for $2 for this organization or $1.50 for that organization?
Oh, I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. For one reason. It's not the concept of the fundraising. It's, okay, here's the $2, and then somebody from the company stands up in a big, nice photo op with this big check and said, look at the money that we raised. No, you didn't raise anything. Your customers raised that money.
To be fair, they did raise it because they asked every time. Just like if they do a roadblock in town and they say, do you want to donate $2? They get to go to the event and say, look at the money we raised. It's the same principle. They did raise it.
They collected it.
They collected it, and that is the difference. Nobody in the company got a check out and wrote down and said, here's $50,000.
So fools on a roof, and they go to the event and say, we raised this money. They didn't raise it. It's your customers that raised it.
Fools on a roof?
Yeah.
Round 1. Fight.
They don't do that anymore.
No, but he's familiar with the event.
I know, I'm just being an asshole.
They raised the money. Their employees asked.
I think we're down to semantics of what the term raise means.
Yeah. We're splitting hairs at this
But
point.
they are a benefit from the photo op, but they did the work.
Now, here's the difference. The guy that's holding that friggin' check in the picture wasn't that cashier that was told mandatory they have to ask you that question.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
bad
not the
business
cashier
practice.
that I'm angry at. It's the business behind it. And that's the asshole holding the check.
Yeah.
Those cashiers should be the ones getting any glory, if anything.
And there should be a couple of customers in that picture. Thanks to our customers for helping us raise
Exactly.
$50,000 for
Exactly.
ass cancer for,
I don't like the practice, just to be clear.
I don't either.
And that business wants to donate the money. They should. It's a tax write-off for
Well,
them.
it's becoming an ordeal now,
And
the checkout.
It's a marketing thing.
Because
and
sometimes there's multiple people that they're raising money for that they're asking you about.
Yeah.
And then once you go, no. Okay, can I have your email address then? Or you've got like $200 worth of groceries. Hey, you want to fill this thing out there and apply for this and everything like that? And, I might disagree with Amazon, but maybe I'm starting to understand it.
Okay, so let me go here. You go to the grocery store, you get 2 or 3 items to go. Are you going to take the self-checkout or go through the quick line? And here's why I'm asking you this. At the self-checkout, there's no human face going, do you want to donate to the Children's Wish Foundation?
But it might still be on screen.
It is, but I don't have to tell anybody no. I just go, nope. I press a button, and because the first few times I said no, I felt like shit. I thought, man, it's $2. It's Make-A-Wish Foundation. This is for kids that some of them are dying, and I felt bad. And then the next time, and it was one of those. I don't have the $2 this week. I'm so sorry. I didn't get into that. I'm just like, no, thank you. After about 3 or 4 times of saying no, thank you, it just became the norm, and that's what I say now. I just say no, thank you. And if I'm of the mind, occasionally I'll go, sure, throw it on. But it's rare. It's rare because everybody's asking for it. So self-checkout makes me go, boop, boop, scan, pay. But here's a practice that I have taken up to using. When the lady in the little machine says, thank you for using self-checkout, I always say, oh, you're welcome.